Hi, welcome to Avi's Kosher Kitchen. I'm your chef and host, Avi, and I've got a wonderful recipe for you today. Before we get to it, as always, we say L'chaim, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Borei Pri HaGefen. Wonderful Cabernet. It goes perfect with what we're cooking today. And by the way, speaking of what we're cooking, which is what we should be speaking about anyway, we are revealing today the winner of our Whole Foods Avi's Kosher Kitchen Facebook contest. We posted 4 photos of 4 dishes. You got to choose which one we were going to prepare. We had Mediterranean lamb koftas, grilled cowboy steak, we had tropical salsa salmon, and Cuban mojo chicken. And now, without further ado, the winner is, drumroll please, Mediterranean lamb koftas. I hear the applause, I hear the cheers, and now let's get to the recipe. We are starting with wonderful, wonderful lamb from Whole Foods. This is ground lamb, 100% grass-fed. Don't be fooled, sometimes you see grass-fed beef or grass-fed lamb. All of that meat is grass-fed at some point. 100% grass-fed means its entire life it was grass-fed, and that is a really, really big thing. It makes a leaner meat, it makes a meat that's better for you, and of course this is a free-range lamb. So what happens is it doesn't get all that gunk in it and all those hormones and antibiotics and stuff like that you don't want that in your system. Anyway, tastes really, really, really good. So I've got here 2 pounds of ground lamb. Wonderful stuff. Before we season that up though, I'm going to start with something else. I'm going to take 1 nice red onion and we are going to dice it. Okay, there's our onions, we take them right in. Now let's go with our meatballs. Like I said, 2 pounds of great Whole Foods, 100% grass-fed lamb. To this we are going to add a little bit of kosher salt. As always, the salt brings out a nice flavor into things. We are going to add a little bit of cumin. This is about a quarter to half a teaspoon of cumin. We are going to take some garlic powder. A little bit of that in there, that's plenty. Okay, we have a little bit of brown sugar, just to put a little sweetness in there, that sort of thing. We have here a little bit of cardamom, beautiful cardamom, just a pinch, that's it. Just a little bit to add something to it, and a pinch of cinnamon. More about the cinnamon and cardamom in a moment. Now, I've got here some basil. I happen to like the flavor of it, so I just want to have a little bit more in there. And now again, gentle, rub it in there, get it infused, and that's going to cook into that meat, and that basil flavor on these meatballs is really going to be wonderfully released. You can see that we're getting some nice browning action on it. Flip these in here a little bit more. This one needs to go. And it's going to continue to brown. Now, to slow this down, we're going to take and add our tomatoes right to it. To this, I'm going to add a little bit more of our basil. And I've got some mint sauce. I'm going to take this mint sauce and put it right in here. I want to get all of that. I'm going to take mint leaves, put those in there. It's going to just cook down. And our last ingredient, actually second to last ingredient, we have this wonderful lamb broth, also from Whole Foods. This lamb broth is made from, they use every part of the lamb. So you're really, when you're buying this type of food, particularly from Whole Foods, everything is sustainable. The farming practices are sustainable, everything about it, you know. So we're going to add this in here. So this is going to cook down. I'm going to add just a tinge of wine. Should I do red or white? Red or white? Red or white? Red. Okay, just to give a little bit of something else. Now, you want to use a good wine, by the way, when you do this. Don't use some of this cooking wine and stuff like that. That's the dregs. You don't want any of that stuff. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, and our lamb koftas have been cooking, simmering, and just mingling with all those wonderful flavors. Now, one thing that I want to add to the sauce, just at the end, a little bit of cinnamon right over the top of it, just to give it a little bit of a and a little bit of, here it is, cardamom. This cardamom gives it not just this gives it okay, and that's what you want. Put that in there. I've got a little bit more of that basil right on top. Keep it nice and green. I'm going to take a little bit of jasmine rice right on the bottom here of things. You don't need to do a whole lot of that. Okay, put that in. Now I'm going to take my meatballs, and as you get these lamb koftas, just take a little bit of that beautiful sauce with you. Look at that, oh yeah. And if you could smell this, that mint, just that little tinge of mint that we put in there, oh my goodness, it is just making it a little bit more of that sauce right on top. Okay, very good. I'm gonna turn that off, and you wanna kick it up. Put a nice little sprig of basil in here, and you are really good to go. So there we go, my friends. Mediterranean lamb koftas. Beautiful, the winner of our Facebook contest. By the way, be sure, if you're on Facebook, or even if you're not, go on there, like Whole Foods. This is our beautiful, beautiful meat. It's going to be so delicious. And like my page too, Avi's Kosher Kitchen. So until next time, Chef Avi saying l'chaim.